Millions of Americans just got some incredible news with President Biden signing the Social Security Fairness Act into law. Public sector workers and their families can finally breathe a sigh of relief. And this historical legislation eliminates provisions that many felt were unfair and reduced Social Security benefits. So, who qualifies for these boosted benefits? How much will they get? And what's next for Social Security? So I'm going to break all this down in the video and give you the latest and greatest information as it relates to the Social Security Fairness Act. So it was actually signed into law on January 5th, 2025, on Sunday by President Biden. And the Social Security Fairness Act eliminates two major provisions. So the first one is going to be the windfall elimination provision, WEP, which reduced Social Security benefits for workers who received non-covered pensions, such as state and local government pensions. The next thing that I was able to eliminate is the government pension offset, GPO, which reduced spousal and survivor benefits based on a government pension. So Biden was actually quoted when he went ahead and signed this, and he said, Americans who have worked hard all their lives to earn an honest living should be able to retire with economic security and dignity. So it was considered a historic move for people, and it was really a significant expansion, probably one of the biggest expansions as it relates to Social Security benefits in the past 20 years, making it a monumental shift in addressing inequalities for public sector workers and people who are considered public servants. So let's talk about who actually qualifies for these increased benefits and go into detail a little bit more about the impacted groups based on the new information that we have here, right? So it's actually going to impact nearly 3 million public sector workers, and they're going to see their benefits increase. So that's going to include police officers, that's going to include firefighters, that's going to include nurses, that's going to include postal workers. Public school teachers as well will be able to receive this increased benefit. So the bill also benefits their spouses and survivors who previously were impacted by the GPO. And just to define what a public sector employee is, if you're not necessarily clear on what that is. So, according to the US Department of Labor, public sector employees include those working for government entities. So, people who are working for schools or government funded organizations. So, just to give you an example of this, so let's say, for instance, a firefighter who paid into Social Security early in their career, but later switched to a pension only job. That is going to be an example of someone who's impacted by this. Another example would be a survivor benefit. So let's say a widow previously received a reduction of spousal security benefits, now qualifies to be able to receive the full benefit of this. So that is one of the benefits. And again, millions of people are excited about this. So let's talk about the actual financial impact based on what we know so far, right? There's more to come. This is recently signed and they're continuing to give us updates. But just to give you the latest update on what the increases that you can expect if you fall into this benefit here. So the White House estimates that an average increase of $360 per month for impacted retirees. So that's going to be number one. And there's going to also be some lump sum payments as well. So over 2.5 million Americans will receive lump sum payments worth thousands of dollars to be able to compensate for missed benefits from 2024 as well. So that's one of the benefits, and that's what a lot of people are excited most about, is that they're actually going to go back a year to be able to make up for what they should have received in 2024, which is an amazing benefit here. So let's talk about a broader economic impact of this. So it's estimated that about 196 billion cost over 10 years, according to the Congressional Budget Office. So that's how much it's going to be able to go ahead and provide this benefit. And it's going to boost income for retirees and could also help stimulate local economies. So that is one of the benefits. Now that these retirees have additional income, now they'll be able to use it while they're retired. So what should you do next? All right. So for individuals who currently benefit from this policy, so I recommend going ahead and reaching out to the Social Security Administration, SSA, and they advise the following steps. So you want to make sure and ensure that your mailing address and direct deposit information are up to date. So you want to make sure that that's up to date, so you're able to go ahead and get these benefits timely and quickly. All right. So that's going to be number one. Number two, no further action is actually needed because the benefit adjustments are going to be automatic. So once that's up to date, the adjustments are going to be automatic. You also want to watch out for notifications from the SSA on the timeline for increased payments. So again, there's going to be some changes, I'm assuming here. This is, again, new information, breaking news here. So you want to make sure that you are up to date with that and making sure that you go to the official source, which is going to be that SSA, right? So for those not receiving the benefits yet, if you're planning to apply for the benefits, here's what you need to do. All right. So really, really important here. You want to make sure you file online at the SSA website. That's going to be number one. Number two, you want to make sure you schedule an appointment at your local Social Security office for a personalized assistance. So everyone's situation is unique. So you may get some of the benefit. It may impact you partly, entirely. It just really depends on your situation. And then also you want to make sure that you begin planning financially, right? Because now you're having this extra income. You really want to reevaluate your retirement goals. So with increased benefits, you may want to consider a couple things. Maybe you may consider retiring earlier than you expected. You may also want to consider relocating to a new city or state now. You might also want to adjust your budget to now reflect the extra income that you have. And more importantly, you also want to make sure that you work with a financial advisor to maximize the impact of these changes on your long-term plans. All right. So that is going to be really, really key here. And just to also share, obviously, this news and this update, as great as it is for millions of people, there is some controversy and there's some feedback and pushback on this, right? So most people, it seems like the overall theme here is that many people are excited. They're happy about this because now they believe that ensures retirees who contributed to Social Security will receive what they're owed. Also provides economic dignity, so it provides stability for public sector workers who literally dedicated their careers to serving their communities, which is extremely important. And obviously, there's going to be some critics of this as well, right? There's senators who are arguing that the act could strain the Social Security Trust Fund. There's another senator out there that warns that the fund could face insolvency within 10 years. And some people are arguing that it's disproportionately benefiting certain workers. But at the end of the day, again, Social Security is a big conversation. It's going to continue being a big conversation. Understanding how to be able to pay for this and making sure that, again, the people who deserved it, the public sector workers who had reduced benefits, are now able to get those benefits. So let's talk about the road ahead as it relates to for Social Security. So the SSA is currently evaluating how to be able to roll out these changes, and they're going to provide updates soon. I'm going to make sure that I get on here as quickly as possible to make sure that you are updated as well with the news updates. Beneficiaries should expect increases to roll out over the next several months. So that's going to be really important to know. Also know this, right? The cost of living adjustment, COLA, right? In addition to the Fairness Act, Social Security recipients will see a 2.5% COLA increase in 2025, further boosting the income, which is amazing. So again, if you qualify for this, you're going to get even more income base to be able to adjust for the cost of living. So what's next for the reform? So the Fairness Act addresses longstanding inequalities as it relates to Social Security, and it remains a critical topic here to make sure that the program is able to carry on for future generations as well. So the Social Security Fairness Act is more than just a new law. It's literally a game changer for millions of retirees who can now be able to enjoy the financial security that they deserve. So whether you're a teacher listening to this, a firefighter, or a surviving spouse, this historic change brings long overdue fairness to the system. And remember, you want to make sure that you update your contact information with the SSA. Again, that's the official authorities here as it relates to this. You want to keep an eye out on the updates and make sure that most of your new benefits are going to be reevaluated to make sure you update your retirement plans as well. So if you found this video helpful, make sure you go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe for more updates, share this with someone who might be able to benefit from learning more about the Social Security Fairness Act. And together, let's go ahead and spread the word on this and empower retirees nationwide. So I'll see you in the next video. Take care.